Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rucha, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of 1 Kings, the 15th chapter. And pretty much what we see here is, the account of the different kings of Israel and Judah. We start to go into, a little bit about what they did, and the wars that they had one with each other. Now in here, as we go through this chapter, there are a few points to clarify that could be a bit confusing. So we'll, Lord willing, deal with that when we get there. So this is 1 Kings chapter 15, verse 1. Now in the 18th year of King Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, reigned Abijam over Judah. 3 years reigned he in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Maacah, the daughter of Abishalom. And he walked in all the sins of his father, which he had done before him, and his heart was not perfect with the Lord Yahweh his God, as the heart of David his father. And this is dealing with Abijam here, so southern kingdom. Nevertheless, for David's sake, did the Lord Yahweh give him a lamp in Jerusalem, to set up his son after him, and to establish Jerusalem. And that lamp meaning that the Lord still had mercy to where Abijam, I believe it's how it's worded here, was able to have his son sit on the throne. Right, that's what is referred to as the Lord giving him a lamp in Jerusalem. So he would still have an heir, right, one to sit on the throne and continue on. And the Lord did that for King David's sake. Because David did that which was right in the eyes of the Lord Yahweh, and turned not aside from anything that he commanded him all the days of his life, save only in the matter of Uriah the Hittite, because in the matter of Uriah the Hittite, David ended up committing adultery with Uriah's wife, and then set up Uriah to be put to death, right? So in doing so, temporarily he had turned from the from the ways of the Lord, but the Lord had mercy upon David for repenting from that. Verse 6, and there was war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam all the days of his life. Now, something to note here is, in the book of Kings, as we go through it, not everything is necessarily in chronological order. So there are times, like we're reading of here, where it's making reference now back to, like, for example, how during the time of Jeroboam and and Rehoboam, they had this war back and forth and so on and so forth. Okay, because it's giving a record of two kingdoms, right? So sometimes it'll go through the account of the reign of maybe 2 or 3 kings of Judah, then it'll jump back to the king of Israel, and then go on from there. So it's sort of this back and forth, but it's still clear enough to be understood. Verse 7. Now the rest of the acts of Abijam, and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Judah? And there was war between Abijam and Jeroboam. So there was war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam. And after Rehoboam died, because Jeroboam outlived him, his son Abijam, Rehoboam's son Abijam, came up into power. He wasn't that different from his father. He continued in wickedness. And long story short, there was war between him and Jeroboam as well. And Abijam slept with his fathers, and they buried him in the city of David. And Asa, his son, reigned in his stead. So he ended up dying, right? And now his son Asa takes over from here. And in the 20th year of Jeroboam, king of Israel, reigned Asa over Judah. So we read here that I believe it was the 18th year. Where was it? I think it mentioned the 18th year of Rehoboam or Jeroboam, but I guess maybe I missed it somewhere. But anyway, it's fine. So in the 20th year of Jeroboam, king of Israel, reigned Asa over Judah. So at this point, you had, during the reign of Jeroboam, you've had Rehoboam, you've had Abijam, his son, and now you have Asa, who is now ruling over Judah. And 41 years reigned he in Jerusalem. So the total length of Asa's reign was 41 years. And his mother's name was Maacah, the daughter of Abishalom. And Asa did that which was right in the eyes of the Lord Yahweh, as did David his father, which probably explains why he reigned for so long. And he took away the Sodomites out of the land and removed all the idols that his fathers had made. Going to show you that even back then, right, you still had that wicked spirit of sodomy, right? You still had Sodomites, just like you see today amongst Jake. Anyway, he took them out of the land and removed the idols, right? Destroyed the idols, and got them up out of there. And also Maacah, his mother, even her he removed from being queen, because she had made an idol in a grove. And Asa destroyed her idol and burnt it by the brook Kidron. Now, this is the part here that needs a bit of clarification, right? So we see here that it mentions Asa, Asa's mother being Maacah, right? Maacah, the daughter of Abishalom. And when we read up above, it also mentioned that Abijam's mother was also right here, right? Now in the 18th year of King Jeroboam reigned Abijam. 3 years reigned he in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Maacah, the daughter of Abishalom. So, but in the scriptures tell us that Asa was the son of Abijam. And the reason here is when you look into the word mother, right, similar to father, it can be referring to like your grandmother, right, or someone up your line. Okay, so it's not it wasn't Asa's direct mother here who was Maacah, but that was his grandmother. And when you look into the word mother, right, you have Amma. Yes, here they have it as mother and so on. But when you look in the Hebrew Gesenius Hebrew Chaldee lexicon, they give a better understanding of it. So you can see here it says, but the name mother has a wider use and is applied also, number one, to a grandmother, and they give you the example here, as in 1 Kings 15 and 13, and generally to any ancestress, Genesis 3 and 20. Okay, so when you come back to 1 Kings 15, and it mentions Asa's mother, right, being that he removed from being queen, it's not his direct mother, but rather his grandmother, because Maacah was the mother of Asa's father. All right. And that's like one difference with like the Hebrew and something like the English, right? You'll see the same word like Amma or Abba, but in English you could be referring to father or grandfather or great grandfather. Anyway, reading verse 13 again. And also Maacah, his mother, even her he removed from being queen, because she had made an idol in a grove. And Asa destroyed her idol and burnt it from the brook Kidron. So he basically took her out of power, took that power away from her, and destroyed those idols as well. But the high places were not removed. Nevertheless, and the high places, these would be like literal high places, like mountaintops and so on, where they set up, like groves, or not even groves, but like altars or places of worship to serve these idols. Nevertheless, Asa's heart was perfect with the Lord Yahweh all his days. And he brought in the things which his father had dedicated, and the things which himself had dedicated, into the house of the Lord Yahweh, silver and gold and vessels. And there was war between Asa and Baasha, king of Israel, all their days. So now, it mentions Baasha here, right? But as we read up above, the king of Israel we were reading about was Jeroboam. And as we keep on reading, both in this chapter and the next, it'll go into a bit more explanation as to how we get to Baasha from Jeroboam. So long story short, that's why I mentioned it's not always in chronological order. And Baasha, king of Israel, went up against Judah and built Ramah, that he might not suffer any to go out or come in to Asa, king of Judah. And I believe Ramah was in Benjamin. So he basically tried to fortify it to block off, anybody from coming in or going out, since there was war between the two of them. Then Asa took all the silver and the gold that were left in the treasures of the house of the Lord Yahweh, and the treasures of the king's house, and delivered them into the hand of his servants. And King Asa sent them to Ben-Hadad, the son of Tabrimon, the son of Hazion, king of Syria, that dwelt at Damascus, saying, now, Syria, the thing about Syria is they do show up a couple of times where they are either in league with one of the kingdoms, like the northern kingdom or the southern kingdom, against the other, right? So sometimes we were at war with them. Sometimes one either the northern kingdom or the southern kingdom will be allied with them temporarily. And one example, as we keep on reading, would be with what's this guy's name? His name's escaping me right now, but I think his name also started with an A. He was a wicked king who the Lord set up to go to battle, right? And ended up dying in battle against the Syrians. And yeah, it's escaping me right now. Let me see. King who died in battle with Jehoshaphat. Ahab, there you go, Ahab. I don't know why I was thinking Asaph, but yeah, Ahab. So Ahab is an example, right, where we were at war with the Syrians and he ends up going to war with them and dying in battle. So anyway, back to 1 Kings 15. So Asa now sends all this gold and so on to the Syrians, saying, hey, there is a league between me and thee, between my father and thy father, meaning basically let's form this alliance here. Behold, I have sent unto thee a present of silver and gold. Come and break thy league with Baasha, king of Israel, that he may depart from me. So at this point, once again, right, the southern kingdom here is now saying, right, more specifically Asa, hey, form an alliance with me and basically ditch the northern kingdom, ditch Baasha, and help me, because this guy is basically coming up against me. He's building up this fortress, he's fortifying this city over here right up on my doorstep. So Ben-Hadad hearkened unto King Asa, and think about it from the perspective of the Syrians. Well, this is a whole lot of money, right? A whole lot of a nice present, and to them it doesn't really matter if it's southern or northern, right? You want to give me this to help you? Sure, I'll do it. So Ben-Hadad hearkened unto King Asa, and sent the captains of the hosts which he had against the cities of Israel, and smote Ijon and Dan and Abel Beth Maacah and all Cinneroth with all the land of Naphtali. And it came to pass, when Baasha heard thereof, that he left off building Ramah and dwelt in Tirzah. So this was enough to stop him from continuing that building he was doing over there, and then he had to basically retreat. Then King Asa made a proclamation throughout all Judah. None was exempted. And they took away the stones of Ramah and the timber thereof, wherewith Baasha had builded. And King Asa built with them Gibeah of Benjamin and Mizpah. So he basically took away all the resources that Baasha was using, broke down the things he was building, and repurposed those to fortify here Gibeah and Mizpah in Benjamin. The rest of the acts of Asa and all his might and all that he did and the cities which he built, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? Nevertheless, in the time of his old age, he was diseased in his feet. And I'm sure as we keep reading, we might hear, more about this part, about the disease in his feet and what he ended up doing. And Asa slept with his fathers, because there's a reason why it's mentioned in here, right? And Asa slept with his fathers and was buried with his fathers in the city of David his father. And Jehoshaphat his son reigned in his stead. So now we've seen Rehoboam, Abijam his son reigned. Then after Abijam we had Asa, right, who ended up reigning for about 41 years. And after him came Jehoshaphat. Okay, and in terms of the northern kingdom, right, we so far heard about Jeroboam's reign and Baasha. And now let's find out how we get to that point. It says, and Nadab the son of Jeroboam began to reign over Israel in the 2nd year of Asa, king of Judah, and reigned over Israel 2 years. So when matter of fact, even better, let's just pull this up. Kings and prophets of Israel and Judah. And let's do the timeline. So if we find an image here. All right, let's see if this is clear enough for all right, let me find a better one. A bit too much going on over there. This is Kings of Judah. I want the ones with Israel as well. King over Israel, King over Judah. Alright, maybe this might not be too bad. And it's not what I'm looking for. Just bear with me while I try to find an appropriate timeline here. Okay, there you go. Thank you. Nice and simple. That's all we need. So basically what we read, right? We had starting off with the Jeroboam. This is after King Solomon's death. Jeroboam reigns over Judah during the reign of Rehoboam reigns over Judah during the reign of Jeroboam. Rehoboam dies, and Abijam his son reigns over Judah during the reign of Jeroboam. There's a bit of an overlap here, right, where Asa now begins to reign at the ending of Jeroboam's reign, and then comes Nadab. Here it's spelled Nadab, but it's Nadab. Okay, so second king of Israel at this point is Nadab, and then we have Baasha. So let's go and read about how we get to this point. So as it says here, and Nadab the son of Jeroboam began to reign over Israel in the 2nd year of Asa, king of Judah. So that means Asa reigned for 2 years before Nadab the son of Jeroboam began to reign. So that means there was that 2-year overlap between Asa's reign and Jeroboam's reign right there. And reigned over Israel 2 years. That was Nadab's reign. And so he probably could have started his Nadab could have probably started in the beginning of the 2nd year of Asa's reign, because it's going to say that, well, let's keep reading. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord Yahweh. This is Nadab, son of Jeroboam, and walked in the way of his father, and in his sin wherewith he made Israel to sin, which was mainly what? Idolatry. And Baasha, the son of Ahijah of the house of Issachar, conspired against him. And Baasha smote him at Gibbethon, which belonged to the Philistines. For Nadab and all Israel laid siege to Gibbethon. So you can imagine Baasha probably being maybe one in the army or somewhere there. But anyway, whoever he was, he basically conspired, right? While they were laying siege to the Philistines, he ends up setting up the son of Jeroboam, Nadab, and takes him out. Even in the 3rd year of Asa, king of Judah, did Baasha slay him and reigned in his stead. And it came to pass, when he reigned, that he smote all the house of Jeroboam. He left not to Jeroboam any that breathed, until he had destroyed him, according unto the saying of the Lord Yahweh, which he spake by his servant Ahijah the Shilonite. Alright, and this was mentioned against Jeroboam for the wickedness that Jeroboam did, right? Saying that, hey, if you follow the ways of the Lord, you would be good. If not, you could. Because of the sins of Jeroboam which he sinned, and which he made Israel to sin, by his provocation wherewith he provoked the Lord Yahweh, God of Israel, to anger. Now the rest of the acts of Nadab and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Israel? And there was war between Asa and Baasha, king of Israel, all their days. In the 3rd year of Asa, king of Judah, began Baasha the son of Ahijah to reign over all Israel in Tirzah 24 years. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord Yahweh, and walked in the way of Jeroboam, and in his sin wherewith he made Israel to sin. So basically, that brings us to the end of 1 Kings, the 15th chapter. But we can see here that Nadab reigned 2 years, right? Starting in Asa's 2nd year. So you can probably imagine he reigned starting in the beginning of Asa's 2nd year, all the way to probably the end of Asa's 3rd year, which would be close to about 2 years. But thus begins the wars between the kingdom of Israel and the kingdom of Judah, which eventually leads us into 1 Kings, the 16th chapter, which we'll go into next time. Anyway, with that, Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.